Well, good morning. Craig Harper speaking. Cape Town, South Africa. This morning I'm testing out a new helmet cam location. I'm in my Type 5. This is my own car. And I'm on my way into town, into Cape Town, for a karting challenge. Junaid Hamid from Raceweb has very kindly extended an invitation to be part of his, what he calls the All-Stars team. Certainly wouldn't consider myself to be an all-star, but perhaps he wants a spread of different talent and ability in his team. He's got some fantastic drivers. Thank you very much. And I'm the only thank you. I'm the only guy who designs and builds cars. Everyone else is interested in cars in some way, but I'm the one guy who has that kind of specialist expertise, and perhaps he wants that. So I'm delighted to be part of the effort today. I'm a bit early, but the car's ready and polished and washed, so there's no time like the present. So this road that I'm on now is called Kaapseweg, the Old Cape Road, and it's a lovely piece of road if you can just get some clear running. It's a very, very busy road. This would be an amazing sort of time trial road, but there's so many roads around Cape Town like this which are just amazing time trial roads because of the mountainous sort of nature of the area. Don't know why this guy is slowing down. Okay, thank you. So there's a lot of roads in Cape Town have been built around the mountains, over the mountains, and so many beautiful driving roads. But again, so many of them are busy much of the time. So you have to temper your driving enthusiasm. My little journey today will be approximately 30 minutes from where I live in Noordhoek to Claremont. The karting circuit is in town, and once we get over the mountain I'll turn this off because I really want to just have a look at the camera angle and the aspect of it and all that. This thing stuck on my head. It must look a bit odd from the outside. I don't know why we have to use these GoPros in a fancy housing, etc. I think there's an opportunity to have a mini DVR controller in the car with 4 or 5 or 6 channels, and then you can run little wireless, not wireless, or even wireless bullet cams all over the place. But wired is obviously more reliable with all the electromagnetic interference that these cars generate. And then you could clip one on your head with a bit of Velcro, and you could put one down at your feet, and you could put one on the side of the car, and one looking back and one looking on the roll bar. So you'd have all of these sort of video feeds going into one unit with one on button, one off button, one battery. In fact, it would be fed 12 volts off a car system, preferably. And then that would be every video feed would be perfectly time synced. And the audio can go across all the channels. You could even have different audio, I guess. That's a different thing again. Each cam could pick up audio, but I don't think there's any point really. Maybe the engine bay, I don't know, but anyway. So this car has been given a new engine. It's under development. It's a 4AG 20 valve Toyota engine, 1600cc, and I have turbocharged that engine. We've had numerous teething troubles, almost exclusively centered around head gaskets, head gasket failure, head gasket leaking, and so on. And after much trial and error and many engine tear downs, we found that what would seem to be the problem that it would seem to be centered on the head gasket itself. For various reasons, we used a 3mm copper gasket made by a local supplier, and this is supposed to give you, if you believe the website, 700% more clamping force, and it's reusable, and it's not cheap at 3,000 Rand. So but I think that gasket just doesn't work in this application for whatever reason, I don't know. The gasket itself was continually sort of leaking, and we thought it might have been something like the block being faulty or something like that, but I don't think that's the case at all. I think actually it's that gasket. We changed the gasket at the last engine build and put in a multi-layer steel gasket, and that seems to that's rock solid, except that I'm looking at a very cold engine temperature, which is a worry, because this the thermostat in this engine should keep it at 85, and it's sitting right down there, so there's a question mark over that. This particular engine is carrying a problem with one of the pistons. It's low in compression, and I think that one of the pistons is broken. I've managed to break it because of excess compression, but it's part of the development process, and come maybe next week we'll pull the head off, drop the sump, take the pistons out, and put in a fresh set of pistons and rings, and then a head gasket spacer, which will be stainless steel, and it will work with the multi-layer steel. So effectively we'll just replace we'll fit this in between the top and bottom layers. So that was the plan, that is the plan, but I am concerned about this very low temperature in the block. It indicates something is not quite right back there. With your thermostat, the idea of a thermostat is to raise your engine's temperature to its operating temperature as quickly as possible, then hold it there steady as you can. Many thermostats are set up to open at to control the engine temperature and hold it at around 82 degrees Celsius. Excuse me. Well, I think it starts opening at 82. I'm not entirely sure, but they're stamped at 82. This one in here is stamped 82, but it seems to keep the engine at about 84 to 88 in that region, which is kind of why I'm concerned it hasn't lifted it yet. And I have climbed Kapseweg. Okay, it is a cold morning, and I'm going very, very gently, given the engine damage that we've got, but have to keep an eye on that, I think. Bum-be-dum bum-bum. I've seen that car on the side of the road back there with a puncture, and it brings to mind that I'm not carrying a spare wheel, and these Bridgestones on this car are very old and very, very thin, so very vulnerable. I am very vulnerable to being delayed by a puncture, and at the moment I haven't got a puncture repair kit in the car, so if I have a puncture, it's going to be basically be a stuff up. Seems to have got some glue on the gear lever here. Made them re-glue this yesterday. There's a nice little bum. I don't know how you can ride one of those bikes without becoming like a BMW drivers, or accused of being sort of arrogant and tell you what, she's perched up so high, she's probably taller on the bike than she is on the ground. It's amazing thing, you know, when you consider a motorcycle like that, how these riders manhandle them around the corners. The temptation to go is strong, but I need to look after this motor carefully. Why is it running cold? Have we had any pipes off? We haven't, eh? So today's team has been put together by Junaid Hamid from Raceweb magazine. Obviously I'm in it, Junaid's also in it. We have 4 other drivers, in no particular order. John Williams, rally driver, he's rallied internationally. I'm not sure of his championship pedigree, etc., but certainly a very, very good driver and very competitive. I'm not sure if he's done any racing. Obviously rally drivers tend to do their thing by themselves in the forests, etc. You don't generally see anyone else. You shouldn't. Got your 2-minute intervals as you're going off the start line. Okay, I'm going to see if I can make it overtake here. And then there's Jason Webb, who is a drifter, national champion, I think a 2-time national champion. Jason, I haven't seen Jason perform. Young guy, very, very, very talented young guy, indeed. David Perel. I'm not quite sure how to say David's surname. It's P-E-R-E-L, Perel. So ignore him at your peril. He's raced in some very big events, in some very fancy cars overseas. He's raced at Spa and I believe Nürburgring and these long races, and he's done, as far as I can make out, very, very well. He's I think one of our strongest team members because he's very light. He's young, he's absolutely on his game. He's in perfect physical condition, which just makes it easier for anyone to perform. And judging by the practice we had on Tuesday, he will be our star driver. Anthony Ashley, I don't know if Ant's done much racing, but he certainly worked at the Nürburgring as an instructor for several years, and now Ant has a very nice little business that you can phone him and he'll essentially put together a driving holiday for you, take you overseas, take you to Spa, Nürburgring, all these amazing places. He's got all the contacts that you might need for to set things up, get them working. This temperature's very low, man. What is? Oh, hang on. That's what it is. The switch is over on oil temperature. Okay, that's perfect. I can see that it's exactly on 85. That makes sense. If I do that, it goes into oil temperature. I've got 5 bar, so that's good. Okay, that explains it. I must put a light on here, actually. Oil, water. So that's Anthony. Again, he's in good shape and he's not overly big, and because these carts are so light and obviously so underpowered, your power to weight is going to be crucial to put some quick laps together. I think I'm probably one of the heavier drivers. Junaid and I will be the 2 heaviest. Junaid has, as far as I know, he hasn't raced, but he's a very, very good driver. He does. He has a little business where he does race driver instructing. So he instructs on race lines, race etiquette, and he's got a basic track day class that you can go to, and he can set you up with your track day preparation, get you into the right sort of mode for that. As I say, a very, very good driver. I mean, he's probably as talented as any of us. and I'm judging that by watching him race, and also his lap times were superbly competitive, considering he's the same weight as me. So he gets a lot of respect from me in that respect. And then me, I've done a little bit of amateur motorsport in my time. Probably getting a bit old for this sort of thing now. But I've rallied. I've won a national championship in Zimbabwe. That was superb fun. I really enjoyed that. But that again, amateur. And I've been runner-up in the National Sports Car Championship again in Zimbabwe, and I've been club champion and that sort of Mickey Mouse stuff a few times. I still love to drive, but I'll be the first to admit that I'm probably overweight now, and certainly feeling the effects of old age. 50 years old. Definitely the bodily functions are deteriorating, even if the love for driving hasn't gone anywhere. I love to drive as beautifully as possible. I love to flow the car and drive the perfect line. So no question, I still love driving, but I'm probably not as quick as I was once. That's my ringtone, stuck in my head. Okay, so that explains why the engine's probably as healthy as ever then. The temperature's bang on where I expect it to be. And then you have this AFR gauge here, right? I don't know if you can see it. The bloody thing it's not reliable. I don't know what's going on with it. It shows error 8, and then it seems to work for a while, and then it seems to hurl the towel in. Excuse me. I'm going to turn right here. Okay, so I'm going to sign off now. That's it. Thanks for joining me.